What is up, YouTube? What's the dealio? It's Monday, man. So I wanted to go live for Monday and talk about some stuff, right? We got we got a crazy Monday going on, a crazy start to the week in the stock market, and so I wanted to come on here and talk about it and really remind you of a couple things, right? Because first off, first things first, I want to say scared money don't make no money, right? I want you to understand this concept. Scared money don't make no money, right? So we got we got Trump, right? We got Donald Trump, DJT. He just became the president. He just got sworn in a couple weeks ago. And so here's what he did. He said that he was going to do tariffs, right? First off, let's go through tariffs real quick so we can understand what's going on. Simply put, tariffs is just a tax on imported goods, right? So America is the biggest importer now. We don't export anything, right? Checking in from the boot, Louisiana. What up? If you just hopping in, man, say what's up. Go in the chat and say what's up. Let me know where you tapping in from. So Donald Trump, he said he was gonna do tariffs, right? Which is basically the taxing the countries that we buy from, right? That we're getting stuff imported from. All right, cool. So he said China, Mexico, and Canada. All right. Now, and then on Saturday, that is when he said it, right? So the stock market was already it was going up, right? We had just hit a bottom right before the inauguration, and then the stock market was going up, right? Last week we had earnings. Last week we had Microsoft, Meta had earnings, right? They reported earnings, and then we had the weekend. Things were kind of like around all time highs. Certain stocks was hitting all time highs, like Amazon, Palantir hit all time highs again, reclaimed them, and so on Saturday he was like, on Saturday Trump was like, all right, all tariffs go in effect. Now on Monday we see the stock market is bloody red, right? And so it's like, all right, now everybody is scared. Everybody is scared. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm hearing. Everybody is scared. So I wanna break this down real quick. Number one, if you're gonna be scared, then the stock market ain't the place for you because there's always gonna be a risk. There's always gonna be a risk, right? No matter what you do, no matter where you go in life, there's always gonna be a risk. So you gotta understand that, you being scared and fearful, that's not gonna get you anywhere. Point blank, period, right? So then let's go to swing trades and let's go to day trades, right? And then investing. So first and foremost, if you're an investor, right? And when I say investor, I mean if you buy shares of stocks, if you buy equities, you really shouldn't be worried because you're in it for the long haul anyway, right? So everything that's going on right now and 5 years from now, things are going to be up. I'm very certain, I'm very confident that in 5 years from now, things are going to be up from where they're at today. So let's say that the market drops by 15, 20%, right? That would be considered a bear market. Okay, if that's the case, that's actually a good thing for the people who are in place. And this is how and why the rich gonna get richer and the poor gonna get poorer. Because you can't let people affect you mentally. You can't let people fearmonger you. You can't let people make you make decisions based off of you being in fear, based off of what you heard from them, right? And then the news too. The news got people in a crazy amount of fear right now, right? If we go to the greed and index uh, thing, let's see what the greed and index is. Greed and Greed and fear index, right? Let's look at this real quick. I want y'all to see something, guys. So check this out, right? The fear and greed index. Where is it at? Fear, right? Fear. Just a couple weeks ago, this right here was over here. And then it came up to neutral, right? But you got to understand that anytime that we're here, that's the time to buy. That's the time to load up. Okay? Hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. Anytime that we're in a strict level of fear, it's time to load up. And the second thing is you got to understand your timelines and what dollar cost averaging means. Okay? So let's think about this. Number one, buying shares of stocks is always safer than option contracts. All right. And there's a reason why, because there's no deadline, there's no expiration date with shares. So you could hold them forever. You could hold them for a day, a second, a minute. It don't matter, right? But with option contracts, you got an expiration date. And that's where people get got. So if we see, you got to understand dollar cost averaging. You could dollar cost average into your shares and your equities to drop your prices. You could also dollar cost average into your option calls and or puts, right? Puts and calls, it don't matter. But you have to understand that, number one, things are not going to be how they are forever. If things are up, they're not going to be up forever. If things are down, they're not going to be down forever. But the stock market is designed and manipulated to go up. It is designed and manipulated for the stock market to go up. So if I see a stock drop by 10%, then I'm in my mind, I'm going to think about, okay, let me go do some research on this stock because it just dropped by 10%. Now, if the company is a good company, then I know that we gonna go back to the upside. So why should I be scared, right? So on Saturday, they said that the tariffs was going in effect and they went in effect. Stock market tanks on Monday, right, this morning. But then in the middle of the day, they said that they're halting the tariffs for until March 1st with Mexico. And then we saw the market had an uptick and it started going up. But after the market closed, they also said that they gonna do the same thing with Canada, right? So now we got 2 out of the 3 countries that they're pausing the tariffs for. So what does that mean? That means that we may see some bullish price action tomorrow in the market because 2 out of the 3 countries, they're pausing the tariffs, right? So you cannot allow Wall Street and Trump to play games with you in your pockets and your fear, right? I want you to understand that trading, right? Trading stock options and trading anything, but I trade stock options, so I'm talking about stock options. Trading stock options and also investing into shares, it is all a game of you being able to manage your emotions and your fear and your greed, right? Because when you up in a play and you a newbie, a beginner, you think that it's going to keep going up. And then what usually happens? It pulls back and then you lose all your gains and then you sell at a loss. And then what happened? The stock ends up going back up, right? That's how it go. You know how I know how it go? Because I was new and the same thing happened to me on a consistent basis. I'm like, damn, right? I have to learn this. And it's like, you got to understand that it's not always about learning a skill set. It's about learning you. Right? It's about learning you, learning who you are. How do you operate when greed is presented to you? How do you operate when fear is presented to you? Right? You got to understand, you got to be even keel. You got to be relaxed. You got to be calm. You got to be poised. Because you could be down in the trade, but knowing it's going up. But you got to be calm and poised. Right? You could be up in the trade and you got to know when to get out. But what you can't be doing is you cannot be giving into fear, because anytime I give into fear or anytime I have given into fear, I took an L. And the L may not have been financial, but the L was the potential. See, I don't know if you're really hearing me right now. The L I took was the loss on my potential, or my potential of that play, of what I could accomplish, or whatever the case may be, all because I gave into the fear. You cannot be making fear-based decisions, right? I always say The more you study, the less you worry. Okay? I did a whole YouTube video on this, right? The more you study, the less you worry. I want you to understand this. The more you study, the less you worry. And what does that mean? Okay, when you have no information, when you have no education about a certain topic, when you have no education about a certain concept, you're going to be worried about the outcome because you don't know anything, right? But what happens when you get in the lab, you lock in and you study anything? The more you study that topic, the less you're gonna worry, right? That's how this goes. That's how the game goes. You have to understand that this is all a game. It's all a game. And it's all a game, right? Wall Street is going to manipulate the market, and they're going to get the newbies to give in to fear. They're going to get the newbies to sell out of their positions, hit their stop losses, lose their money. They're going to take their money. They're going to put that same money that they just made off of a newbie into the market, and then they're going to ride the stocks back to the upside. It's that simple. So if you are giving in to fear, if you're looking at the news, you already lost. Hear what I'm saying? If you are looking at the news, you already lost. I'm not saying don't be aware of what's going on, but if you're allowing all that fear mongering to enter into your spirit and control how you make decisions, you are taking an L. You taking an L. You got to be able to see past the propaganda. You got to be able to see past the games. You got to be able to see past the media. You have to be able to see past all of the crazy stuff that's going on. You got to be able to see the manipulation. And if you cannot see the manipulation, you are actually getting manipulated. Right? That's real life right now. You got to be so locked in on learning this game of investing and learning how to trade and reading the charts that you become invincible on the charts. And then you want to add your fundamental analysis too. And then you want to start understanding the market and market catalysts and things like that. And when you could bring all of that together, that's when you start really, having $10,000 days and $5,000 days and stuff like that. Because it is all about allowing yourself to put in the work and not be fearful when something presents itself, right? Do you think any elite professional athlete is afraid, who has prepared, is afraid of their big moment? No, they're not. And the reason why they're not afraid is because they prepared, right? Preparation quells fear. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? You got to learn how to eradicate fear. Eradicate fear. Get rid of it, right? If you on this live right now, be sure to like this video for me, right? Like this video. If you want to get into trading, if you want to trade with a group of people, be sure to click the link in the description and join our Discord. But what's up, trees? But I want you to understand that the name of the game is Wall Street plays is they like, yo, we about to manipulate these people, okay? And the people that fall victim to getting manipulated are the ones. And then they make their money off of them, right? And then what do? They put the money back in the market. I got a friend, he says, trading is nothing but patient people taking money from impatient people. And that always stuck with me. And let me give you an example. So this morning we trading, right? So the market opened at 6:30 a.m. on the West Coast time, right? So it opened on the West Coast time, 6:30 a.m. We started trading. I did not take a trade until 7:28 a.m. So I waited a whole hour, right? I waited a whole hour to take my first trade, right? But I was done trading 30 minutes after that, and I made $400. So think about that. There is a quote that says, if I was going to cut down a tree, I had 24 hours, I would spend 23 hours sharpening my axe and 1 hour cutting down a tree. So today we spent an hour cut, sharpening our axe, and then we implemented and executed for 30 minutes, and I pulled out $400 in the market. That's how you gotta think, right? That's how you gotta think. But how did I get to a place where I could be patient and then I could know what I'm looking for, and then I could go in and get out within minutes and go make X amount of dollars? How do you think that? Uh, Caught one live. Hell yeah. Just like eating down. That's what's up. So yeah, we just talking about not being afraid of these tariffs, and understanding that scared money don't make no money, right? And the market is going to move regardless. So okay, so also understand this: the stock market, it only goes up or down. So if the stock market is down, right? If the stock market is already down, let's just say 10%, how much lower you think it's going to go? How much lower you think it could go down more, right? Yes, you're right. But if it's already down, depending on what type of economic market we're in, what you think the next step is going to be? It's going to go up. So when you see stocks are down, when you see everybody freaking out around you, you need to relax, you need to chill out, and then you need to understand that, okay, there's a good chance that next week this is going to be up and we're going to recover. Right? I've been trading now long enough to know that I've seen some crazy dips. I'm talking about back last August, Nvidia was at like $95. 2 weeks later, Nvidia is at 140. Right? And I was like, damn, I missed out. But why did I miss out? Because I was feeding into the fear. I fed into the fear because I was new. I didn't understand the game. I didn't understand the market manipulation, right? And so I lost out on the opportunity right there. You got to understand what's being said right here. Hey, we can't be scared. Got to make this money over these next 4 years, regardless of what happens. Yeah. And so talking about that, right? Regardless of what happens. So understand this, right? Right now, right? Be sure to like this video if you're watching and you ain't liked it for me, please. So check this out. So right now, we are in a time where everybody's emotions is hyperactive, right? It's hyperactive. Everybody's emotions is hyperactive. Everybody on edge right now. Why is that? Okay, because Donald Trump. All right, cool. He is a very interesting individual. All right, whatever. But at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, the stock market is an opportunity for you to change your whole life. If you really understand what I'm really saying, I changed my life in the stock market. I was going door to door, right? Knocking on doors, selling solar, right? I was selling solar panels. I was making 6 figures. And in October, I was able to walk away, all because the stock market, and I learned how to trade stock options. The stock market can change your life if you let it. You got to stop letting your emotions get in the way of what's for you. You have to stop that. There's no room for feelings in the stock market. Control and learn that technical analysis. Yeah, the technical analysis, man. Listen, you need to understand this, right? I want you to understand this, but you need to understand the power of technical analysis. I used to be like, man, them charts, they intimidate me. And I remember my first times really kind of getting into the stock market. I heard about a stock. Somebody may have mentioned it. And then what I do, I buy it. And then when it goes down by $10 or $15 and I got 6 shares, what I do, I get out. That's how you going to be a losing investor your whole life, right? This is what losing investors do, right? They buy the hype and they sell when it's lower. So think about it. If you're buying when it's high and you're selling when it's low, you ain't making no profit. And that's what everybody does, because everybody is controlled by their emotions for the most part. When you can learn how to control your emotions, when you're trading, your life will change. And also in your whole life too. That's a whole nother conversation, right? Trading is a mirror, and trading is going to tell you who you are and what your habits are. I find the New York Stock Exchange is a mirror of yourself. Great opportunity to reflect and pivot where needed. Yes, right. It is a mirror to yourself. So I was just saying, like, it's gonna show you your habits, right? I remember when I first started, man, it showed me my habits of like where I was fearful and stuff like that. And so over time, you just end up getting better. You get better and you get better. But if you quit, you're never going to get better, right? Entering plays with all that fear will cost you money. The same way living in fear will cost you opportunities. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, right? It's in the stock market, but the stock market is going to show you what you need to fix and tighten up in your real life. Understand what's being said here. I'm pretty frugal and I try to get the absolute lowest entries and highest exits. Bingo, right? It's simple as that, right? See, here, understand this concept, right? Economics at the simplest level is to buy low and sell high. That's it. That's it. So you got to understand that if you're hearing about a stock right now, if you're hearing about a stock today, it's probably already ran up because everybody is hearing about it now, right? You want to wait till it pulls back and then you could buy in and get in because everybody is fearful because they just had the euphoria when it was up here. It pulls back, people sell, they get scared, they panic. You come in at a lower price and then the stock goes past where it just pulled back from. Listen, y'all, listen, this stuff will change your life. You got to start controlling your emotions for real. You got to stop giving in to fear and you got to stop giving in to greed. You got to, I always say, when a stock is going up, it ain't going to keep going up forever. At some point, you got to take your profits. At some point, you got to take your profits because a pullback and a reversal is on the way. I promise you that. You cannot sit here and think that the stock going to just keep going up. It's impossible, right? It's like sprinting. Can you sprint forever? No. You're going to sprint and then you got to take a break. Now, you could sprint again after that, but you going to have to take a break. So that's what the pullback is. So you want to wait for the pullback before you get in. So if you see a stock going up, right, you don't want to have fear of missing out. You do not want to have fear of missing out because your fear of missing out is going to make you get in that play. It's going to make you buy that stock. It's going to make you get in that trade. And then the stock going to do what? Yank. It's going to come down and then you are going to be scared and you're going to panic out of your position. You're going to sell off. You're going to lose money. And then the stock is going to go back up and then you're going to be confused and mad and frustrated. Why do I know? Why am I saying this? Because I've been there and I'm trying to give you the game for free. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand that this is about you. What are your habits? This is inner workings, right? People that are successful traders, they just have learned how to handle things and how to do things in a certain manner and think a certain way, right? The book Trading in the Zone by Marcus Douglas touches all of that. Yeah, get in Trading in the Zone. If you're not in the Discord, click the description and join the Discord because I have a whole bunch of book recommendations for you to buy so that you could learn this. And that's another thing, man. You have to really understand the importance of educating yourself. Yo, my first year trading, I was literally obsessed, right? I was literally obsessed. And I'm not just saying this stuff. I was literally obsessed every single day because I knew that the more I learn this, the faster I can collapse time and the more successful I can be at a quicker, right? I wasn't trying to rush the process, but I was so focused on learning how to trade that I was like, I'm about to do this shit, period, point blank. And I did that on the weekends. I'm studying my trades. I'm still learning every day, every weekend, right? Because you got to understand, if you commit 1 year to trading, like legit commit, the next year will never be the same. But if you take 2 to 3 years and really learn how to trade, you literally are going to guarantee yourself multiple millions over your lifetime. Guaranteed. And the reason is because the skill set. You learn this skill set, you can literally print money at will. You can print money at will. Who wants to be able to print money, right? You got to understand the power in being able to print money that you don't have to work for. You do not have to work for it. So what happens if you can make, let's start off small, and let's say $500 a week, right? Okay, you making $500 a week in the stock market with stock options. Okay, that's $2,000 a month. All right, now 2,000, and we're gonna multiply that by 12 months, right? What is that? That's 24K a year. All right, now let's do some math real quick. If we can grow $24,000 and we could get a 10% return in 1 year, what is that? That's $2,400 that you didn't have to work for. But you didn't even have to work for the initial $24,000 because all you had to do was learn how to trade, right? You don't have to work for the money. You just got to learn how to do the thing. It's like the plumber or the electrician, right? The electrician just knows what to do. So he or she could charge, $800 to do one little small thing because they went to school and learned how to do the thing. You need to learn how to do the thing. And once you learn how to do the thing, you can go into the stock market, you can go into them charts, and every single day you can pull out profits. This is what I'm saying. That's the power of this stuff. You only lose when you sell. That is true, but sometimes it's not, because if you got a stock option contract and the expiration is this week and you hold on to it and you down and you don't sell, you still could lose, right? But I get what you're saying though, right? You only lose when you sell, right? Because it's realized gains or losses. But yeah, and then please take a second to like this video and help these numbers up. Yeah, please, man. Please like this video if you own this live right now. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, I want you guys to not be fearful. That's the biggest thing. Don't be fearful in this game, because here's the thing, right? You have to understand that the losses are a part of the game. The losses are a part of the game, right? Actually, becoming successful at trading does require good work. I hear you though. Absolutely, it does require good work. It requires a lot of work. It requires a ton of work on yourself, mostly, right? But yeah, so I just want you guys to not be afraid, right? The more you study, the less you gonna worry. Always remember that. The more you study, the less you worry. The more that I study and learn, the less I'm worried about, am I gonna make money tomorrow? Because I remember in the beginning, right? When I was trading and I was brand new, I woke up with anxiety, right? I didn't have no swing contracts or anything, but I woke up and I would be anxious. If the market was red, I was like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Real talk, I'm being honest, because I like being transparent about stuff, right? And I like keeping things simple. But I would have anxiety. And then over time, I was like, oh, because I've seen it to now where you could wake up, the market could be bloody red, and then we could end the day in the green. And I'm like, oh, so it just be manipulations. It just be games being played, right? It just be games being played, man. Listen, Wall Street is going to manipulate the market so that they can get in these plays, make their money, and then sell off. It's all a game. It's all a game. Stop being a victim to Wall Street's game. Stop being a victim to Wall Street's game, right? They always say the trend is your friend. That's something that I learned. The trend is your friend, right? And so you got to trade based on the trend. So a lot of times I would take L's and I would lose money because I was trading against the trend, right? So the stock is up here, right? And it's kind of like going up. It's going up, down, but it's still going up. And when it starts to go down a little bit, I would get into a put and I would be up maybe, let's say $80, $100. But I was being greedy and I was like, man, I'm trying to make 200, right? So I stay in the trade and then it's negative 200 and then it comes back down and then it's like negative 75. It teases me and then it goes back up and then it's negative 350, right? And I didn't learn my lesson. And then now I got to sell and I'm taking a $500 loss which was unnecessary, all because I was being greedy, right? And I didn't really understand that I should be trading with the trend instead of going against the trend. You cannot make the stock market move in the way that you want it to move. You have to take what the market gives you, for real. That is a real thing. You have to take what the market gives you. You have to take what the market gives you. If you can't take what the market gives you, you're going to always be trying to force things. And if you're forcing your trades, you ain't going to make no money. I'm telling you this, right? On good days, your trading should feel effortless. Real talk. Your trading should feel effortless. And what I mean that, what I say is some days you're going to have them times where it's like, damn, I shouldn't have got in that trade, but I still made money. I'm glad I got out, right? But at the end of the day, you have to learn what the trend is, right? What Nip said about them L's. What do you say about them L's? What do you say about them L's? Y'all taking advice from old. I don't know who Big John is, but yeah, I don't know, man. We got 24 people on here, so somebody's taking something away from it. But yeah, you wanna understand that you can't give in to fear at the end of the day, right? That's one of the biggest lessons is you can't give in to fear. You have to understand that you have to become a student of this game, right? And you have to work on your game every single day. Every elite athlete, right, works on their game. Everybody, Beyonce, you think she just waking up out of bed and going on tour? No, she's the greatest performer in the world, right? The greatest. I don't care. She's the greatest, but she practices and works on her game every single day. Every single day, right? The more you study, the less you worry. Stop being a victim of Wall Street's game. The trend is your friend. Yeah, the market gives you. Yep. Yeah, take what the market gives you. Yeah, listen. This is so good and timely. I appreciate that, Shali. Yeah, man. I've learned a lot learning how to trade and being on a journey of trading and also crossing over and becoming profitable and consistently profitable now, learning like what trading strategies actually work and learning how to think as a trader, right? In the day. So I'm not just a trader on Instagram. I don't even be on Instagram like that, but I am someone who knows how to trade. And that's the thing. You want to know how to trade. You don't want to just take a call and you make money, because here's the thing that I learned in trading. If you don't know how you made the money, you didn't make it, it's not real. If you don't know why you lost the money, you gonna lose more money. Hear what I'm saying, because I'm giving you real game right now. If you don't know why and how you lost the money, you are going to lose more money because you can't stop it. It's going to keep happening, right? If you don't know how you made the money, you ain't going to make as much as you think you are, right? Because luck is deceptive. Luck is very, very, very deceptive. You can get lucky and make money, right? And you could think that you winning. You could think that you got it. You could think that you the GOAT. You could think that you don't need to put in no more work because you got lucky. But true success is able to replicate itself over and over and over and over again. So you got to ask yourself, can I replicate what I just did? Let's say you made $10,000 in a month trading stocks, right? Can you do it again? Because that's the real key on if you really know how to do this. You made $1,000 today. Okay. Can you go do it again? Can you go do it again? Can you go do it again and again and again? Because true greatness, right, and true success is based on and predicated on what you can do over a long period of sustained amount of time. Understand what I'm telling you right now, right? True greatness and true success is predicated on what you can do over a sustained period of time. Hear what I'm saying. I don't want to win today. I want to win for the next 50 years. I'm going to be trading stocks for the rest of my life until I die. And let me tell you why, right? I'm gonna tell you why. This is one of the most powerful things I learned, right? Hold on. Beyonce always says rehearsal is key. That's right. So practice, right? Practice is important. And then that's real. Remember when it used to hit certain revenue numbers and we say if we can't do it again, it didn't count. Exactly, right? You got to know how to do something over again. That's the real, metric of success right there. Uh, I put all my money in Stain Coin. Was that a good move? I honestly do not know about Stain Coin. I have no clue, right? I really only talk about stocks. I don't talk about crypto. I buy Bitcoin, but I don't talk about what you should buy with crypto because that's not the world I'm in, and I don't try to fake it, right? If I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know, or somebody over there could help you, but I don't know about no Stan Coin, so I ain't even gonna do that. And then new sub, I appreciate you subbing. All right, so understanding the game, right? Understanding the game is one of the most important things right here. Understanding the game, putting in the work, doing what you know you need to do, right? Showing up every single day. That's a big one. Show up every single day, please, right? Because think about this. I show up today, I show up tomorrow, and then I take 3 days off. But then you like, man, I put in work this week. No, you showed up 2 out of 3 days, right? That is less than 50%. In school, that is a F, right? So you didn't really show up. You put in a little bit of work and effort, but it's like empty calories. It's like eating food that ain't really nourishing your body. Yeah, you ate food, you had the action of eating, but you didn't really nourish your body, right? So it's the same concept with showing up. You got to know how to show up every single day. So last year, I traded every single day. I remember there was like a 2.5 week period. I had lost like $3,000-4,000. Like the beginning of the summer, I took it like a 3 week break because I was like, man, this is getting out of control. I had to pull myself in, and I had to like ask myself, like, okay, what's the strategy? Like, why are you taking these trades? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know why you're getting in trades? Right? I had to ask myself that because if you're not able to reel your own self in, then how are you going to get where you want to go? So I had to reel myself in because I was just losing. It was like back-to-back days. My in one trade I would lose 700, and then the next day I would make 400, and then I would go lose 1,100, and I would be down 800 on a day. And so it just started getting crazy. And so I had to ask myself, like, man, why am I taking these trades? And then over time, I started really understanding why I was taking the trades, and I was doing the wrong things. And when I started getting better and better and better, I started getting better and better and better. So your habits are going to lead you to your profitability. Your habits, your thinking, your mindset, it's all going to lead you to the profitability, right? So you got to have certain mindsets that's going to get you to that level of profitability and consistency. But you got to show up every single day. I can't stress it enough, right? You have to show up every single day. Sure, trading aftermarket. Yeah, we ain't worried about what he's talking about. But yeah, you got to show up every single day. That's very, very, very important. All right. So stop giving into this fear. Understand tariffs, understand how it's going to affect the market, but don't be afraid, right? Don't be like me and wake up and have anxiety or a little bit of nervousness, because let me tell you some shit. The more you trade nervously, right? The more you trade nervously, you're not going to make any money. Because if you get in a trade and you're already nervous, you're going to take a L. Because you're going to allow the fear to get you out early, right? You're not going to have that sound mind. So you got to have a sound mind, and you got to be at peace, right? That's what Trading in the Zone talks about. You got to accept the responsibility of whatever the outcome is of this trade. If you don't allow yourself to accept the outcome of the trade, whatever the trade ends up being, you're not ready, right? Because what happens is you could be, man, I've been in trades before, I'm up 600, right? And I'm like, man, but see, here's the thing. My first trade of the day, I remember one day, I started my day, I lost like $500. Okay, so I get in a different trade, and now I'm up $400, but I don't take it. And why don't I take that trade? because I'm like, man, this ain't 600. I'm trying to hit a home run on one play. And this is what I always say. You need to fall in love with 5 to 15% gains. Period. If you are new, right? If you were in your first year, you need to fall in love with 5 to 15% gains. The 30% they gonna come. The 50% they gonna come. The 90% they gonna come. But you need to fall in love with base hits, because the base hits are gonna lead to the grand slams. But if you're trying, let me break this down for you. If you are trying to hit a home run, right? If you're trying to hit a home run right now, and you have none of the bases are loaded, right? You're trying to hit a home run. What's the likelihood that you're going to hit the home run? What's the likelihood that your team is going to get a runner to score? But if you hit a single, and then the person after you hits a single, now you got two people on base. Now that next person just needs to hit a double, and then you're going to score. So if you want to keep the scoreboard going up, right? If you want to keep numbers going up on a scoreboard, you have to understand that you got to keep the bases loaded. And the way you keep the bases loaded is you keep hitting the base hits 5, 10, 15%, 5, 10, 15%, 5, 10, 15%. Because if you consistently hit 5 or 10 or 15%, right? What happens is the ability to execute those trades, you're going to start knowing when it's time to stay in a trade. You're going to start knowing when it's time to just stay in a trade longer. And then you're going to be able to make more money because you mastered the base hit. So you got to learn how to master the small things before you get the big things, right? It's very good. I'm learning to appreciate the base hits, holding out for home runs. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's something that I had to learn too, right? So if you want to lose money, then go for the home runs, right? But if you want to make a lot of money, them 5% they add up. Them 7, 8, 9% they add up. I had 3 trades today. One was 4%, one was 9%, and one was 8%, right? The 9 and the 8% was on the same stock. So what's 9 plus 8? That's 17%. So I still made 17% on my money. It was just split up between, 2 different trades. And so 3 trades total, I made over 20% on my money today. So they add up. That's what I'm saying, right? I want you to understand that they add up. All right. So I don't want to hold y'all too long. I just want to help you guys. I just want to help change your life, and I want to help make trading simple. So don't be afraid. Understand that scared money, it don't make no money. And yeah, man, let's get into the stock market. If you want to trade with us, join the Discord. The link is going to be in the description. And I'm going to talk to y'all tomorrow on the flip side. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. All right. Peace.